Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the second day of the HDR conference. I'm delighted to see you all here. So today we're going to be focusing on how we can use technological innovation to address the grand challenges of health data research. So without further ado, a few little housekeeping points. So there are no fire alarms planned at all. There's Wi-Fi throughout the building. I'm just going to move towards where I can actually see my notes. If you don't want to be photographed, there's a little sticker that you can get from reception to put on your badge. And this is the hashtag for social media. We're not planning on any strobe lighting or anything like that today, but for my presentation, there might be a few little PowerPoint animations. I don't get a chance to computer program anymore, and it's basically all of the excitement that I can possibly get in my life. That and maybe a new Excel spreadsheet formula. For those of you who weren't here yesterday, I'm just going to give a little summary of what HDR are all about. So our mission is to unite the UK's health data to enable discoveries that improve lives, and for large-scale data and advanced analytics to benefit every patient interaction, clinical trial, and biomedical discovery, and of course to enhance people's lives. We're going to do that by trying to accelerate every step along the journey towards trustworthy use of data for public benefit. And this is the arc of those different steps shown in orange here. We're trying to make it easier for researchers to find, access, and use high-quality data. We are providing leadership to fix difficult technical problems. And we're developing open collaborations to connect data, people, and organizations across the UK and internationally. So we really want to get to the point where we can do research on data from across the whole UK population. That's 67 million people. I'm delighted that there was recently a study called Coalesce, published in The Lancet, which looked at COVID-19 vaccine coverage, and it analysed data from all of the 4 nations across the whole UK population. We believe this is the first such study. However, it was really challenging, and it took a couple of years. We want it to become routine to be able to do these sorts of studies, and to be able to do them at a pace and using a breadth of data that we currently don't see. So how do we do that? Well, mostly at the moment, research projects tend to use data from one data custodian or one particular data source, one TRE. This really limits the number of research questions that we can answer. We want to help the sector mature so that we can move to a case where it's really routine to do a research project which uses data from different sources. And there's many different areas that we need to work on in order to actually make that the reality. So we need to look at information governance. We need to have political change. We need to look at standards. We need to really try and innovate using exemplar projects to push the boundaries of what we can do. But today, we're going to be focusing on one particular area of change, and that is around technology. And so I'm delighted that there's more people in the audience today with black T-shirts on, because those are the sorts of people that we really want to work with. So if you look across lots of all of the different research projects out there, you can sort of summarize the steps on the journey into 4 different processes. So you've got data discovery, data access, data environment, and then your data analysis. Across all of those different steps, we need various different technical capabilities. I don't have time to go into each one of these today, but just to give you a feel for these, there's an awful lot of different processes and different things that we need to be able to do. And all of those things need to be in place before we get to the point that I've highlighted in red here, and that's actually being able to do data analysis or develop an AI tool using data. All of these other things need to be in place. There's some brilliant innovations out there. There's some brilliant technical solutions. And many different groups who host and manage data, from TREs to research cohorts to research groups themselves who manage data, have built innovative tech across this space. But the problem is there's very little reuse or interoperability across these tools. And that really hampers the sorts of things that we can do. So we have been working on trying to develop some areas to work with the technology ecosystem to say, how can we help the sector mature so that we can be in a position to be able to do research on data from 67 million people, and we can reduce the challenge where we're not seeing interoperable solutions and we're not seeing reuse across this sector. So we've been looking at various different components. And these are all of the ones that we've shown here in this diagram. And the whole meeting today is structured around each one of those different areas. So the agenda is set up across these. So first of all, we're going to be looking at the area of community. These are just some of the various different groups that we work with. There's an awful lot of them out there. What we're trying to do is bring people together to reduce complexity within this space. We have some community champions. They're all here today. Please do reach out to them. Some of the things that we're trying to do to bring together the community is we're trying to have conferences and technical workshops. HDR have historically only had a one-day conference. What we've done this year is put on a second day focusing on technology in order to bring together this new community working in this particular area. I'm delighted to see you all today. We've actually been sold out for a good couple of months now. We've just launched a Slack channel. This is for technologists who are particularly interested in the field. Please do sign up. Ruth's email address is there. If you can't remember it later, it's on our website. We're also planning on launching a seminar series for technologists in May. Again, please do sign up. We work across both the NHS, academia, and also industry. And I'm delighted that we've got several talks from different industry sectors today, and we've also would like to thank our sponsors. There's various different stands outside, as you may well have seen when you came in. On to people. We need a diverse range of highly skilled people in order to build this community. So we're doing a range of work around this. We've signed up to what's known as the Technicians Commitment. This is a cross-disciplinary, UK-wide institute that tries to bring people together. And we've published a 4-stage action plan for how we're going to work with this community. We do recognise, however, that quite a lot of people don't like the term technologists and tend to prefer things like research software engineers, or they don't like the term technicians commitment and tend to like technologists. We're doing a huge amount of work on empowering technologists and early career researchers. So we have live workshops, webinars, and online learning from the HDR Futures platform. Please do have a look. There's some fantastic material out there. We have an educational program, which is bringing in masters, PhD studentships, and hackathons. And we're also supporting career development for our initiatives around the Black Internship Program and the Alumni Network. I'm delighted we've got some great speakers today talking about community and people. They're starting just after my presentation. We've got Carol Goebel, who's going to be talking about Elixir, Caroline talking about the Software Sustainability Institute, Matt from the Society of Research Software Engineers, and Harry talking about the TRE community. So beyond health, I think that this is really, really important. We need to bring data from lots of different disciplines linked to health data in order to actually answer new sorts of research questions that we can't currently answer. And also, quite a lot of the solutions that are built for handling sensitive health data can also be applied to other forms of sensitive data in other disciplines and vice versa. So we really need to bring these things together. We're at a challenging point where actually there's a bit of a risk where different disciplines have built different infrastructures, and these do not actually meet at a key point, and we end up working on different systems. An analogy is a railway system which works on different gauge widths and doesn't join at junctions. And thanks to AI for this image in order for me to explain this. So in order to do that, there's an initiative called DARE, which is a cross-UK funded initiative. We're just finishing off DARE Phase 1, and we're moving into DARE Phase 2. I have the honour of being the DARE Interim Director. The proposal for DARE Phase 2 is going through the process of being approved, and so please do watch this space for what is next here. We've got some great talks today covering some of the areas that we did in DARE Phase 1. We've got Chris talking about the SATRA project, Phil talking about federated analytics, and Jim later on talking about disclosure control and how we can make sure that we're securely, confidentially looking after patient data. Then we're going to move on to standards, standards for interoperability. We've got an awful lot of work going on in this space. Obviously, in terms of the technology side, we very much want to work with open codes and open solutions. We've developed, through the Health Data Alliance, a set of recommendations for data standards, and we're adopting the OMOP standard common data model. And we're also working in partnership with the new NHS secure data environments, who have also adopted the OMOP common data model. We've got some great talks on this just before lunch. We've got Danny, who's going to be talking about the Odyssey network and OMOP, and we've got Peter, who's going to be talking about GA for GH and the global standards working in this space. On to science of the infrastructure. So the same diagram that I gave before, it's really important that we don't just have researchers who are wanting to look at that final area of the step in order to do data analysis. We need expertise in actually how you support infrastructures and how you innovate across all of those different steps. And that is research in its own right. And I'd really, really welcome working with groups from other research disciplines from across different councils to come and apply their expertise into that science of the infrastructure to enable us to do this research at scale and innovate in the space of TREs to really make a difference. On to technology solutions. There are some absolutely fantastic solutions out there within the wider technology ecosystem. We're going to be hearing about quite a few of these during some lightning talks straight after lunch. We've got people talking about trusted research environments and standards around this space. We've got some talks on federated analytics. We're looking at reproducible pipelines and scientific reproducibility. And then as a final session today, we've got talk on data privacy, sustainability, and then onto AI. So as well as all of these great technology solutions out there, HDR are also working to actually develop some technical solutions ourselves. And these fit into two categories. So we're doing some work to actually provide software which actually supports the ecosystem itself. So for example, trying to provide mechanisms for people and researchers out there to find software that already exists to support that reuse, and to provide access to data analysis scripts that other groups have done to actually help with that scientific reproducibility component. The other thing we're doing is building something once with the community of data custodians so that we can reuse a solution multiple times. So an example for this might be a federated feasibility analysis tool where we build that and then lots and lots of different groups use it. So we're funding about 60 different technologists across the wider program of HDR. We're hoping that over the next few years we'll have many different talks from these various different groups, which we bring together regularly to work together. So we're very much hoping that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So although we don't have time to talk through all of these today, we are going to listen to hear from Clara. That's just before lunch, and she's going to be talking about the work that we've been doing on the gateway in order to enable some additional capabilities ready for our new launch of the gateway in summer next year. I really hope that you enjoy the day. I hope you like the work that we're trying to do across the technology ecosystem, and I will welcome the other speakers for this session onto the stage. Thank you very much.